Welcome to Iraqi Dinar Update, your go-to source for the latest news, expert insights, and real-time developments on Iraq's currency, economy, and financial reforms. Whether you're a long-time investor or just curious about the dinar, you're in the right place. The situation unfolding between the United States and Iraq, particularly under the strategic influence of former President Donald Trump and his associated network, reveals a far-reaching agenda rooted in economic revival, national sovereignty, and international integration. The United States, through both formal diplomatic channels and informal networks of advisors, experts, and corporate representatives, has been intensifying its involvement in Iraq. This uptick is not simply about rebuilding a war-torn state or managing geopolitical strategy. It is, in fact, about laying down the final foundational pieces of a long-awaited transformation. At the heart of this transformation lies Iraq's bid for full membership in the World Trade Organization, WTO, a global platform that necessitates a level of structural, legal, and financial alignment with international norms. It's a process that has been in motion for years, but recent developments signal an accelerating pace and a sharpened focus. Iraq's economic reforms are deep and multifaceted, targeting systemic inefficiencies, regulatory stagnation, and infrastructural gaps. These reforms encompass everything from anti-corruption measures and judicial enhancements to central banking modernization and digital financial integration. While these changes are often reported in dry bureaucratic language, their implications are profound. The goal of increasing the purchasing power of Iraqis is not a rhetorical flourish, it is the underlying logic that unites all these reforms. It is also the linchpin of any nation's ability to offer dignity, opportunity, and prosperity to its people. Purchasing power isn't just about having more money. It's about what that money can do. It reflects how stable the currency is, how widely it can be used, how much confidence both domestic citizens and international investors have in it, and whether or not it represents a country integrated into the wider global economy. Trump's increasing involvement, either directly or through surrogates, signals a recognition that Iraq is reaching the final phase of its decades-long journey to reclaim economic agency and financial sovereignty. His approach, often misunderstood as purely transactional, has in this case proven to be part of a broader strategy to encourage Iraq to complete the last legs of its reform path with urgency and clarity. By sending more American delegations and economic specialists, including those with knowledge of WTO accession, financial market integration, and digital infrastructure development, the former U.S. administration's circle has quietly but firmly endorsed the idea that Iraq must finish what it started. These delegations are not just symbolic. They are comprised of individuals with hands-on experience in economic reconstruction, financial governance, trade law, and institutional reform. This phrase, increasing the purchasing power of all Iraqis, has become a kind of refrain in reform communications from both Iraqi policymakers and external partners. And for good reason. In the simplest terms, it means enabling the Iraqi dinar to buy more goods and services. But in practical terms, it means stabilizing inflation, managing currency supply, improving wages, lowering unemployment, and enhancing access to global markets. Purchasing power is both a financial measurement and a psychological one. It shapes how citizens perceive their economy. If prices rise but wages do not, purchasing power shrinks. If the dinar weakens on the global stage, foreign imports become more expensive and domestic living standards decline. However, none of these efforts matter if the benefits do not reach ordinary people. That is why the emphasis keeps returning to purchasing power. Policymakers understand that legitimacy depends not just on passing laws or building systems, but on delivering results that improve quality of life. An Iraqi family in Baghdad or Basra or Erbil must feel that their dinar stretches farther, that prices are stable, that salaries are meaningful, and that they have access to goods and services comparable to global standards. Trump's backing of Iraq's reform completion, particularly regarding WTO accession, should be understood in the context of a broader American shift toward facilitating sovereignty through economic self-sufficiency rather than dependency-based aid models. This philosophy prioritizes strong national currencies, low inflation, independent central banking, and private sector-led growth. It favors reduced reliance on international debt and increased emphasis on attracting real investment. The message being sent to Iraq is that it is time to finish the transformation. Many American officials involved in this process emphasize that the road ahead is narrow but navigable. The legal frameworks for WTO accession are largely in place. The biggest remaining hurdle is harmonizing Iraq's internal systems with the performance expectations of WTO members. That includes non-tariff barriers, customs practices, dispute resolution mechanisms, and clear procedures for business formation and intellectual property protection. U.S. technical advisors, many of them from think tanks, law firms, and former trade negotiation teams, are helping Iraq navigate these final details. At the same time, there's a surge of interest among multinational companies looking for early investment positions in Iraq, in sectors like telecom, transport, agritech, and mining. They see the writing on the wall: Iraq is coming online, and it wants to do so with a modernized financial system. The psychological aspect cannot be overstated. Iraqis have endured years of uncertainty. Their faith in institutions has been tested. But the promise of reforms culminating in a strong dinar, one that can hold its own in cross-border transactions, one that reflects the real wealth of the country, is beginning to take root. And this is where U.S. engagement under Trump's orbit becomes more meaningful. By lending credibility, by sending experts, and by publicly affirming Iraq's direction, the U.S. is not just shaping foreign policy, it is offering a lifeline of belief. It is saying, we see your efforts, we endorse your trajectory, and we are here to help you finish the job. Iraq's future as a WTO member, as a country with high purchasing power, as a place where economic reform translates into real-life dignity for its people, is not guaranteed. But it is within reach. The work is grueling, the steps are technical, and the pace can be slow. Yet the vision is clearer than ever before. And with the continued presence of international allies, particularly those with a vested interest in long-term regional balance and prosperity, Iraq is poised to complete its transition. The destination is not just WTO membership or a better dinar. It is an Iraq where people wake up knowing that their money means something, that their institutions work, and that their country is finally stepping into the future it has long been promised. Thanks for tuning into Iraqi Dinar Update. If you found this content helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a beat on Iraq's evolving financial landscape. Stay informed and stay ready.